takes us to the beginning of our discussions, and I would be delighted if His Excellency Issam Kazim, the Chief Executive Officer of the Dubai Corporation for Tourism and Commerce Marketing, DCTCM, can come and join us on the stage. Your Excellency, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Now listen, last time we got together was 2 years ago. I think it was 2 years ago. God, time flies, doesn't it? But you were on stage here, and Issam Moderator was moderating. Yes. We had the lovely JJ as well on stage. But great to see you.
Great to see you as well. I mean, yes, we've a lot has happened since that time, and of course, I mean, our heart goes out to JJ's family. I mean, he was a great colleague, a lovely colleague, and it was such a great conversation that we had that day as well.
Yeah, it was. Now, listen, I mentioned in my opening there about that inspiration, you know, coming to Dubai. You have these visions, the region, you all have these visions, and you have this wonderful you're tied up between the private sector, the public sector. You're all speaking together. And we don't get that in other parts of the world. And I just want to understand the whole D33, what that's all about, and how hospitality, tourism is fitting into that space.
Sure. I think it's safe to say that for us, if you look back again historically for Dubai, we had very little oil from day one, right? So we knew that we need to look elsewhere. We need to come up with a different way of keeping up with the changes and the trends that were happening in the region. So that entrepreneurial spirit started right then and there, creating an environment where the private and public sector work hand in hand and really create opportunities for us to create successes that create those win-win opportunities across the board. And for us, from a government perspective, we're always trying to lead the way, to create the momentum, to create the pace that others can follow. And that has really been the benchmark for success globally and the blueprint for everything that Dubai has done. That, of course, if I bring it home towards the tourism side and hospitality side, 2014 we launched our own strategy, and our vision was to increase number of visitors, repeat visitation, length of stay, impacted the economy. All of that was part of the agenda and part of the program that was rolled out. But it also specified exactly what needs to be done from an infrastructure perspective in order for us to be able to create that opportunity. And that meant private sector along with public sector playing a big role in creating that document, and then also fulfilling or achieving those outcomes. And very simply, we put initiatives in place, we put directions in place, we started to invest in infrastructure to allow the private sector to realize the vision that we are trying to achieve, right? And we broke our own record year after year until we reached the number 4 position globally in 2019 with 16.73 million tourists attracting to Dubai for that year. Of course, 2020, everything goes into lockdown. But last year, we managed to break that record once again with 17.2 million tourists. We've already seen the first half of this year, 8% ahead of the same period of time last year as well. So it's showing the momentum's coming back again. We've increased the number of hotels from the day that the strategy was launched. We had 67,000 hotel rooms, roughly. Today, we have 151,000 plus hotel rooms. But again, as you can see with the ADRs and the RevPARs that we have, that there's still demand for more. So again, we're getting together with the ecosystem, we're sitting together with our partners, understanding what is that they need in order for us to put in place and facilitate for them to be able to invest more and reap in the benefits of the growth.
Because with D33, you're looking to double GDP by 2033. So how many rooms are you looking at by 2033 as well?
So if you look at it from a whole D33 perspective, from a tourism side, we focused on bringing the numbers and repeat visitation, right? Today, we're coming back off of since 2022, we've merged the Department of Economy and Tourism. So now we're also looking at relocating people to Dubai. So becoming the number 1 place to live in and the number 1 place to work in. And you can see that has already started to grow. So we have a lot of new companies that relocate to Dubai, family offices that are set up in Dubai, more communities moving to Dubai to find the right opportunities for themselves and set up their life in Dubai as well. So all of that should aid the doubling of the GDP in the next decade. So that's the vision from one side. But when you look at it from a tourism perspective, we're already putting benchmarks in place in terms of growth that's year on year on an annual perspective. We're looking at making sure that the VFR aspect, the visiting friends and relatives element, continues to become a huge pillar for us. Because right now the pull for us, if you look at the population makeup, the demographic makeup of Dubai, about 90% come from 200 different nationalities, roughly. And that's the mix that personifies Dubai's, I would say, fabric. And that's the community that actually are the biggest advocates of the city. Today are attracting businesses and attracting the communities in. So in terms of number of hotels, there's a lot of potential for us to grow, but it's also making sure that we're growing in the right locations, because now we have different destinations within the city of Dubai, and also catering to the different budgets. Dubai doesn't just cater to the luxury segment as it was perceived in the past. Today, we know that there are amazing 3-star hotels as well that can compete with many 5 stars around the world. As you mentioned, the service and the things that you see in Dubai are second to none.
Yeah.
And we want to ensure that as we're growing the numbers, we do not jeopardize on quality of service as well.
Yeah, interesting. So one of my themes I brought up just now was sustainability as well. And tell us some of the initiatives that you're doing at DTCM.
What we did was a few years ago, we launched a strategy, and this was, again, we're trying to be ahead of the game. We're understanding the change that's happening globally in terms of travel patterns and the behaviors of individuals who are traveling. And we knew that it's a heavy topic, not just for us, but from a global community perspective as well. So we introduced some initiatives that encourage the hotels to retrofit and spec up their properties, the existing properties, so that they can start becoming greener as they progress. And we started to recognize them with awards and really encouraging the change within that space. But since then, we've come a long way. We've actually put carbon calculators on our platforms, making it easier for people to understand where they stand today and how they can actually become better at it. We've also introduced new requirements. I think the list of 19 different requirements that have been put into place today that encourages people to at least understand exactly how they can adapt to that and make sure that they qualify to become far more sustainable as they grow forward. One of the biggest initiatives was the Dubai Can, for example, which was to encourage people to move away from the single-use plastics. And hotels took that on board. And they've actually replaced it and had bottling factories in their own facilities today to be able to refill clean water and provide the hotel rooms with that, as opposed to using single-use plastic.
Yeah, that's excellent. You see that now throughout all hotels
Absolutely.
in Dubai. That's fantastic. Tell us about moving on to technology then. Again, another theme. What's happening with technology here, and how is that enhancing the whole experience for consumers and the industry?
See, for us, again, we've always been future forward in the way that we approach things, right? And I love the fact that you've got the Future Hospitality Summit happening in Dubai, because again, for us, what more to signify than having the Museum of the Future to really claim that statement, to say that this is what Dubai is all about. And even when it comes to AI and the way things are being developed, understanding exactly our target audiences and making sure that we can approach them and cater to them in the best way possible with the right messages, working with our partners to ensure that we have the right product in place at the right time. All of that is being integrated into the way that we deal with our businesses day to day. More importantly, as you mentioned earlier, using it within the apps that you've launched so that people can actually get their own pictures later on in the day. Imagine having that all the way across from when you check in onto your flight, all the way through to the airport, being received and welcomed all the way through to the immigration, all the way into the hotel check-in. Everything is done seamlessly because they've identified the person who's opted in for the service to know that it can be as seamless as possible and to be able to then be served up the kind of content that you're interested in. For us, we want to make sure that we remove any hurdles and any barriers from the individual's way, because the easier you can make and the more seamless you can make their journey, the more they will be repeating that visitation. Today, 25% of the people who come to Dubai are repeat from the total numbers that we have, right? And that 25% is significant because it's within 12 months. So for us, it's about making sure that the AI, and from a servicing side of things, it's not just for the tourists, but it sits across every single thing that happens, from even setting up businesses. Because today, like I said, if you have 200 nationalities live in Dubai, within a 4-hour flight radius, we have 1/3 of the world's population. And within 8 hours, you have 2/3 of the world's population. So that's the reason why more and more people are choosing Dubai. So we need to make sure that we are adapting all the latest technologies, all the best practices from the world in one place to make it easier for people and to become a no-brainer for people to choose Dubai as the destination for them.
And moving on to sort of the different demographics as well of travelers,
Yes.
particularly the youth. What are you doing to attract the youth here?
See, there's a lot in terms of the offering from a city perspective. What people need to understand is that besides the luxury side of things, we've got the culture side, the heritage side of things. We've got a lot of events that take place in Dubai. Dubai is proud to say that we have over 250 days of celebration that takes place in the city. Some of them is to celebrate the retail experiences with the 30-year running Dubai Shopping Festival, and all the way through to cultural events and experiences that are to be had as well. Today, we are becoming one of the must-visit destinations for gastronomy, right? From 3 years ago, Michelin launched their guide for the first time. Today, we have 106 restaurants that are already listed. And it's not about attracting the big global chefs into Dubai on its own, but also having homegrown concepts that are actually flourishing and today becoming international brands that are going out of Dubai as well. So there's so many things that are happening within that space that really attracts the new traveler, the new age traveler who are looking for something that's unique and something very, very different. And Dubai, I think if you look at it from a perspective of, if you have one place to go, we want Dubai to be that place because you know that you can see everything that you need to see. Depending on the different groups that you're traveling in, everyone will have their own individual reason to visit Dubai. Yeah. And at the same time, enjoying it in the safety of and comfort of what Dubai has to offer, and you become a repeat visitor, and eventually you want to stay in Dubai as well.
Well, I must say, you know, you've done such a good job here when it comes to safety as well, which is refreshing coming back to Dubai. I know something that is quite close to your heart is accessibility.
Yes.
As well. So tell us a little bit about what's going on there.
So when we said we want Dubai to be a destination for everyone, we covered all the demographics, but one of the main things that we wanted to focus on is the accessibility aspect as well. And one of the things I want to be very, very proud of, and I want to also congratulate Paul on this as well, with the work that the airport has done, and with all our key partners as well, with the hotels and everyone else, we're very close to becoming the first city at least in the Eastern Hemisphere to be a autism-ready destination. And that is a very, very proud moment for us. And there's still a lot more work to be done across the board for the accessibility side in particular.
Well done. Now, I know we're running out of time, so one last question. Tell me about you do some amazing marketing activities. I mean, I'll never forget the Burj Al Arab when you had Tiger Woods playing golf. I was there at the time, actually, when he was doing that. But the tennis and everything else. So tell us something about the new marketing initiatives that you've got going on at the moment.
I think today, Dubai has really come a long way since back then. And what we're proud to say is that today we are a destination for a lot of the athletes, a lot of the celebrities, whether they come here for a time off or they're coming to enjoy an activity in an event or actually coming here for practicing and getting ready for the next tournament. So what we started to do today is start to hone in a little bit more on the talent that exists on the ground, which are the people, right? Because it's very important for us for people to realize that they are like-minded people like themselves who are actually living in Dubai. So today we're focusing on the resident population. We've created a campaign that follows the theme of a play on words of if you know, you know. So say, if you go, you know. And it's really had an amazing impact already with the markets that we've launched this in. So we found families from America, families from India, families from different parts of the world that are actually genuinely talking about their experience in Dubai and what they do. And things like that I think will resonate far deeper now. So we got the breadth and the width from I would say the celebrity campaigns and the high-level awareness campaigns, but today it's about really going to the next level of the emotional connection, and I think this campaign already is showing us the marks of being able to do that for us.
Oh, fantastic. Well, Your Excellency, thank you so much for joining us and opening the conference. Great pleasure seeing you, and thank you for our dialogue. Would everybody show their appreciation? Issam, thanks so much.